Hello everybody, it's vanburman here, and today I just want to do a video to show you the MSI Windbox, which is what I have in my hand right now. So to start off with, it's quite light. It's just under 1 kilogram, so that's always good. Trying to think what might be interesting to show you. That's how it looks on its weird stand. It's actually a mini computer in here. So there's a dual core Intel Celeron, I'm going to struggle to remember the rest of it, but clock's at 1.8. It's not terrible by any stretch, not the best either. Also comes with 4 gigabytes of DDR3 1600 megahertz RAM as well, and a 500 gigabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. No graphics card, it's got the Intel one in, obviously, for it being so small. So, yeah, you can pretty much gauge your expectations on that, but we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. So, just for the connectors, you can see here, we've got VGA, for whatever reason, HDMI, 2 USB 3 ports, Ethernet port, speaker port, a optical speaker port as well, I think. Don't even know, not even opened it. And of course the connector for the power supply, which I've not got it now because it's around the back of the television, but it's very, very small. You know, the brick itself is, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 centimeters long, maybe a little bit longer, 10 centimeters long. It's about, I don't know, a third the size of a normal laptop one, I would say. So yeah, not big at all by any stretch. I believe this has a running electricity use of about 40 watts. So, you know, that's nothing at all. It is low voltage, and I suppose the performance does sort of, you know, match that. So this is the front. As you can see, you've got headphone jack, microphone input, and 4 USB 2.0 switches, ports even. So I've put a very, very cheap wire Bluetooth dongle connector in there. Mine's a little bit dirty, but I did get this for I bought it second hand off eBay. It also came with a mouse and a keyboard, not that I particularly was that bothered about them. But it cost £84, which is not bad at all. It didn't come with an OS, so I did have to install that. I've literally just put Windows 10 on. Oh, and before I forget, at the top we've also got the SD card reader, 3 in 1, I think. Don't even know, don't use SD cards like that. So what I've decided to do, and the reason I wanted the Bluetooth dongle, because it doesn't come with Bluetooth, is I have, paired it up with a Bluetooth mouse and my Bluetooth keyboard as well. That's got the cover on, of course. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and plug it in, and yeah, we'll talk about some of the stuff it has on the screen and such. So first off, I'm sorry about this way of doing the filming for the monitor. You probably can't see a whole lot of it. I will do a bit more demonstration shortly, but a couple of reasons I bought it. One of them was to be able to play my Steam games in the living room. As you can see, I've got it all set up on the TV. It is running Windows 10, and of course, you know, Steam have got a Steam Link, but for £40 you're pretty much just limited to Steam stuff when your other computer's on. I decided to opt for this for the other things as well. One of the other things I wanted to do with this was connect it to the OneDrive, Microsoft OneDrive, so that I could do the RPG Maker games, which actually will run on this and will run perfectly fine on this sort of machine. You know, you'll be able to do everything that you need to do on that, which I'll have to be downloading these at some point. I've literally just logged into the Steam account, so there you go. In terms of gaming in terms of the other side of it, as in actually natively, I don't think there's a huge amount on my Steam that will run well on this, or well enough that you would consider playing it. So one of the things I've done, got myself a controller, just an Xbox 360 controller, a wired one, for this, because the cable's more than long enough to reach the chair, and I'll just be streaming a couple of actually I'll probably just stream Fallout 4 and show that off for you so you can see how it works with streaming. It would be a lot better using, I think anyway, using an Ethernet cable. I'm just doing it on the wireless, so I have to see how that works. But the other thing as well, of course, it can be a home media centre as well quite easily. I've got my hi-fi plugged into my telly, which in turn this is plugged into, so you can play all the music and everything. I was watching this film on it earlier, which obviously I'm not going to show any of it. Now I've forgotten what it's called, but it was quite good. That's bad that I can't remember what it's called. Let me have a look. What film was it? Mythica, The Dark Spore. Came out about September last year, worth checking out. But yeah, it ran perfectly smooth, I didn't have any problems. And I was actually watching that through the OneDrive. So that was actually over the network rather than it actually being on the hard drive. So that was even, well, I was even more impressed with that really, to be honest. I wasn't doing anything else at the time, that was literally the only thing I was doing on the internet, so don't know whether that will affect it or not. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go and plug my controller in because it's not actually plugged in at the minute, and I'll reposition myself so that you can actually see what it's like streaming video games. Right, so I've got Fallout 4 all loaded up now using the Steam link, and it's now displaying through the television, which is very nice indeed. So it all set up really easily. Basically you just log into your Steam account on this, or download Steam, log into it on the Steam account, and away you go. Pick a game that you want to stream, and then the computer upstairs, or the computer somewhere else, does all the hard work, and the computer down here just basically displays it and acts as the input to it. Really? 9% chance to hit and took him out. There is bits of, oh god, there are bits of slowdown at times. I think one of the main reasons for that is I'm doing it through the wireless and not through a wide connection. I would definitely recommend doing it through a wide connection, especially if you're going to be streaming games from your, streaming films and music and everything else through the main computer as well. I think it would work a lot better there. But there's not a huge amount of input lag from the controller to the game, which is always nice. Ooh, a legendary one. And overall it works pretty well. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how online games would do over this. If you can do anything like that, it would almost certainly have to be a wide connection. You'd have to have a fairly good internet as well. But any sort of single player, anything that's a bit slower paced would be perfectly fine. Apologies. I still got quite a bad cold. So something like the upcoming XCOM, for example, I think it would be really good. Just sit on the it's more of, I think that's more of a couch game. Sit on the couch and play. Or Final Fantasy 9 coming up as well, coming out on Steam. That could also be good. So anything that's a bit more, you know, thought out, where you probably would want to use your gaming PC as a console, as a couch console, then you can do. Like I say, probably not too much the online bit. I will have to get a wide connection to it and then give you a bit of an update on it if indeed it does come to that, as in if I do actually follow through with it. So I suppose in conclusion, you know, I've been using it for, you know, just a media PC really, and I think it does all that well. I mean, you don't need to have a beefy processor to do that. The small amount of applications I do want to run on it, it will run perfectly fine. Mainly because I had a tablet which is not as powerful as this, but it sort of gave me a bit of a benchmark to work on. I knew it was a bit lower quality, or less powerful even, sorry, than this. So in getting this, you're getting a bit of an upgrade on that. And of course it is, you know, streaming at 1080p onto this very big TV, and it's looking perfectly fine. So the input lag is, well, you judge for yourself. Sorry about the clicky noises, but yeah, perfectly fine. When a lot's going on, it is bound to drop, but yeah, no complaints from me in this department. So It will. It's Steam. The Steam streaming thing is also a little bit weird. Sometimes it will show you what's on your desktop. So sometimes it will actually stream your desktop upstairs in your gaming computer rather than just the game. But anyway, you could obviously get a wireless controller as well, and basically the whole thing could be wireless, a wireless media PC for you to stream. And with 500 gigabytes, you know, you could actually store quite a bit on the computer itself. So anyway, if you can pick that up for, well, around £84 like I did, and you are thinking about getting a Steam Link, then I suppose it's double the cost, but a lot more functionality if that's what you're after. Anyway guys, hopefully this hopefully this review of sorts has been useful to you. And if you've got any questions at all about the unit or anything like that, do leave it down in the comments below, and if I can answer it, I will do. Upgrading to Windows 10 was fairly pain-free, but I used the word fairly there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching guys, I'll see you very soon. Goodbye. I can't do it. There we go. Thumbs up.